Hi, it's Nicole, and welcome back to Creating with Collections Volume 5. I am working my way through Doodlebug Tinsel Time, and this is layout number 9. As a reminder, this one I am running with Lisa over at Life in Layouts, and basically we both shopped Tinsel Time, picked out things that we wanted to use, and we are going to see how far these products can really go. For today's layout, I am doing a single page layout with 5 photos. I am also using a modification of a free sketch. The free sketch is from the sketch support series from Scrapbook Generation. The free one is number 20. And then they offer for $2, you can purchase a PDF that has modifications already done for you. Now, you see that sheet on my desk with all of those phrases. I am struggling to use those phrases, and I think when I saw that the sketch had all of those banners, I was thinking maybe I can just use a bunch of these and have it be kind of like a pattern. Fun fact, this first section of the video where I get the photos and the paper down, I did months ago. I just finished the layout yesterday. uh, Listen, life is lifing. I am waiting for some ducks to kind of get into the row so I can kind of update you guys on what's going on behind the scenes here. And I have a ton of footage of a clean with me, tackling dark side tasks and whatnot that I would like to edit. And typically those videos run a lot longer, and those are usually where I kind of dump behind the scenes information and stuff that's kind of going on with me. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I am struggling. Creating the collections is near and dear to my heart. It is a series in which I learn something new every single time. With this run of it, I am very much learning, and I mentioned this in the podcast episode that Lisa and I did all about creating collections. And I think I've identified I don't want to say issue or problem, but for me and my style, anytime I pull out Doodlebug, it's like a treat. It's not an everyday type of thing. I am in the mood for bright, happy, fun faces on everything. Let me take it out. Let me use it. Let me put it back when I'm done. So sitting in this collection, I think, is a little bit of the bottleneck. I also just have some personal stuff going on right now that is not great. And I think it is just hindering my wanting to be creative. But I also need to push forward. So, with that being said, not every time you sit down to create are you going to come up with this masterpiece of layout. And I think it's okay, especially knowing that I, started this a while ago. I knew that when I pulled it back out, I was not going to know where I wanted to go creatively. I can get the bare bones down and kind of pause. I think if I had given myself a little bit more time to sort of sit with the layout and kind of go through the product and really think about, okay, basically I have a base layout here. What can I do from there? You guys know me. I'm going to raw dog it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it done because I need to move on. I noticed in the box, I actually have a double loosely planned. So I'm kind of curious to know what I planned months ago and if I'm going to still be in the mood for that. One of the things that I do kind of want to touch on, I was finishing this layout up and video chatting with Lisa, and I was talking to her about how, for whatever reason, I either use a ton of product or not a lot of product. There really is no middle ground in my style, and that's okay. But this layout and the previous layout, I didn't get a lot of stuff on the page. And that's, I'm trying to use things up. I'm trying to not have 30 plus layouts with this collection. So I kind of know layout 10, 11, 12, I need to shift gears and think more product heavy. And sometimes that just means something as simple as looking for either different style sketches, scraplifting myself and finding other layouts that I loved that used a lot of products. I've got some of those layouts kind of hanging out in my brain that I may kind of pull out and revisit and see if the embellishment style on those would work for some of the pieces that I have been avoiding. I also know that I need to go back to what I have done in the past with creating with collections, which is essentially to give myself a large flat surface and pull out a folding table and lay everything out, because digging through the box and going back and forth through the product, I did not enjoy that part. It doesn't spark creativity for me like seeing everything laid out kind of does. Okay, so at this point in the process, I have pulled this box back out. Thankfully, I did not have to go print this focal point photo. So whatever size it was, I'm keeping it that way. I already know at this point that those the phrase banners that sparked the start of this, I don't think that they're going to work. And one of the reasons I think that I've been avoiding them, I prefer the ones that have the white text. For some reason, the black text printed on the pastel colors just it throws me off, and that's just a personal preference. I also was very thankful that past me had already done the journaling, already printed it, even die cut it with the Hero Art Sentiment strip die, and had set it in my little container that I keep my sprinkles, the jar of shaker bits, thread, stuff like that. I had tucked it away in there, and I even printed the date. So this was one of those things where I'm not feeling super creative, but I still need to get something accomplished. This was already a UFO. It's already, it's an unfinished object. It's something that I can spend a little bit less time start to finish. Do I love where it ends up? It's okay. But again, it goes back to not every layout is going to blow you away. Not every layout is going to be amazing, and that's okay. I have also learned over the last few years just personal style when it comes to working and creating and stuff like that. If I take a significant break, and that can be just 2 or 3 days, and then I come back, that first project that I work on, I struggle with. And knowing that is kind of why I try to maintain, daily or every other day, I need to sit down and either plan something, prep something, create something. Like I need to kind of be in it, and that works for me. That's not going to work for everybody. And like I said, that's okay. We are all different people. So I am putting my journaling strips down right now. And because my photo is tilted, I did use a ruler to make sure that my journaling was straight. And then from there, I need to pivot because, like I said, I've already gone off on a different tangent than what I planned and what the sketch had planned for me. I noticed that there was a couple die cuts that were loose in my kit, probably from photographing the previous layout. I like to pull a couple off and kind of include it in my flat lays. And at first, I talked myself out of using this big house because I think in my mind I had decided that all of those houses should be a scene on their own. And I went back and looked, and there's plenty of houses. I think there's 7 total. And I looked at the other colors and I was like, you know what? The red one contrasts really well with this yellow background. We're going to go ahead and use it because, again, that's a key role for me in creating with collections is finding ways to use things that my first inclination is to hoard it. Like, we're not doing that. We're getting things used. I try to have a mix of things that I love, things that I am struggling with. This ledge leafy floral thing is another thing that I have not used. I don't see myself, like, I think you could put it at the bottom of like a 4x6 photo and kind of have the photo almost be on like a shelf scene. Ultimately, yes, I could do that. That could be a maybe. I can't think that far ahead. I'm working on now. And right now meant cutting off the ends of that and having little, like smaller floral pieces to be able to create bases for a cluster because I didn't have very many of the smaller, like individual greenery pieces left. So I made my own from a piece that I was already struggling to use. These are things that I like to do with this series a lot. At this point, I'm already figuring out that I need to think of a title. I wanted to say "Here comes Auntie Claus," like Santa Claus, how sometimes people say that. I'm gonna go through. You guys are gonna see me make Dickers. Auntie Claus. That's a lot of letters. That's kind of long. It was gonna go too far into my photo, so I do end up changing it to Aunt Claus, which doesn't roll off the tongue, doesn't sound as cute, but my kids call her Aunt, not Auntie, so it kind of made more sense. Um, I think the last 3 or 4 layouts, I have tried to use these little quotation mark stickers, and eventually I just have to be like, "You know what? Does it look great? No. Is it getting used? Yes. Does it pull in the aqua that I'm slowly starting to sprinkle around the layout? Yes." So it's fine. Like I said, we are kind of going with okay is great. I have 5 photos on this layout. I have a story told. It is dated. It is visually interesting. All of the key factors are there. So it works. I did end up using one of those banners. Like I said, I don't love the ones that have the black on them for some reason. I think it's just personal preference. I pulled out my alphabet dies to kind of try to figure out what I wanted to use. I think if I had used those Tim Holtz one that I put in my kit, it would have fit better, but I really like the fun, playful style of these from Lawn Fawn. I think that they fit the like tone of my photos and the event and the people involved in them. And I have a hard time turning that off in my brain and being like, okay, this is cute and this matches, but this is smaller and would fit better and matches less. I'm going to lean into whatever the voices in my head tell me is a better option. So I'm going to go through. If you've never made Dickers, it is a good relaxing time. I cut the letters twice with smooth white cardstock, which I've been keeping in my kit anytime I mat a photo, print journaling strips, and I have scraps from that. It just goes back into my kit and I pull it out for die cutting purposes. Did my 2 white layers, and then I don't know why. The hardest thing is deciding this top layer. I need it to contrast against that yellow, but I also don't want to use like a good 12-inch strip of a B-side, if that makes sense, because what if I need that 12-inch span for the next layout? So I'm trying to go to those small scraps first and kind of get them used up before I cut into larger pieces. If I am using a pattern, I do like to go ahead and tape that top layer on. I think it just kind of helps keep the pattern kind of visually straight. And then when I make Dickers, I like a good sticky mat, some tweezers, maybe a pickup tool, and liquid adhesive. And this is the like relaxing portion where I don't have to make design choices. I don't have to think about placement of anything. I can just turn my brain off, assemble these, and then turn it back on when I'm done and I'm ready to put these together. I do sometimes have to write my title down on a scratch piece of paper to make sure that 1, it's spelled right, and 2, I have all the letters that I need to have. So I'm just going to go through, finish making my Dickers, and then here you can see it. I mean, it fit, but then I'm gonna mess myself up and put this cute little chubby heart in the middle, and that took up more room. Um, so yeah, when I am trying to get Dickers straight on my page, I'm gonna use a ruler. So I did go ahead and I'm gonna grab a smaller like quilting style ruler here because I can see through it and just start from that outer edge and start spelling my title backwards. A lot of you guys have told me that when I glue things on top of photos that makes you guys cringe and you could never do that. I promise it's okay. Anytime I'm putting letters on top of a photo or embellishments, I am making sure that there is nothing important on that photo. And an example here would be my focal photo is overlapping and touching my photos. That little quotation sticker is touching the edge of another photo. And then these stickers are they're not going to go quite all the way, but really I probably could have. And it would have touched my daughter's like leg and their little gift set. But like I said, I ultimately just decided to not use the I and the E. And then I really felt like I had barely used any embellishments. So I did go back to the die cut sheet and I found two pieces that were that aqua color that I felt like would work out to kind of have that be that kind of pop of color across the whole layout. So I grabbed a little bird and put it on the house and the little box of ornaments that I tucked in above the journaling strips. And then I'm going to go to these little sprinkle shapes. I'm trying to use these, but I've learned probably in the last year or so, I don't love enamel shapes. I don't know what it is. I think it's the shine. Um, I love the die cut version, like those little silver ones. I absolutely love. These ones, I am trying my best to kind of get them used up and get them, try to sprinkle a couple on each layout if I possibly can, and maybe have those be the first thing that I finish. So with that, that is my completed layout. Check the description box down below for a link to Lisa's video and any of the project or products that I've mentioned, as well as the free sketch that this was based off of. If you've got any questions for me, leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.